Howdy folks, I'm Curious Conch, constantly calling across calm Caribbean coves.
I'm Amber.
And here are more calm Caribbean coves for us to call across. So let's get started on that. Wah! I don't even know what the conch sound is. Like, you know what it is. I don't have to emulate the sound. Poorly. And folks, we are going to skip the weekend episodes this weekend. I've had a lot of meetings this week, unfortunately, and it's just kind of made my voice tired, and I don't want to overextend it, so I'm going to pass on the episodes this weekend just so that I can give my voice a little bit of time to rest. So we'll see you on Monday. All right, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Faking Being Asleep? I'm a 21 non-binary, and I'm currently on a cross-country road trip with a couple of my buds. Archie, a 21-year-old male, May, a 24-year-old female, and Liam, a 23-year-old male. And this issue currently caused a huge rift in the group. This is a throwaway, as everyone in the group knows my main. Lol. Me and my buds have been friends since my freshman year of college, and I have known Archie even longer, since childhood. However, this is the first time that we've all spent this long in a confined space together. People have told me I fake sleep convincingly. This isn't exactly the case. I have some sleep issues, which makes it really difficult for me to actually fall asleep. However, especially in cars, I get very sleepy, and I'm able to half sleep, where I'm able to get some rest, but I'm still mostly conscious, and I can wake up fairly quickly. My family calls it dolphin sleeping, because dolphins sleep with only half of their brains at rest. On this long trip, this has happened several times, and I'll be dolphin sleeping when my friends start talking about what to get for dinner or something, and I'll sit up and I'll join the conversation. They say something like, oh, sorry for waking you up, and I'll always say, oh, I wasn't sleeping. They never believe me and think that I'm just embarrassed, I guess. So I've stopped clarifying that I wasn't actually sleeping. Well, a couple of days ago, now I was dolphin sleeping when my friends started talking about me. At first, it was pretty harmless, but then they started teasing Archie about being gay for me. Archie then started saying things like, it's not like she's a guy or anything. Yes, misgendering me, which, whatever. Apparently, he has a crush on me since we were kids. For additional context, I have only recently come out as non-binary. My friends were all pretty chill about it, but apparently Archie has been struggling with this due to his crush. I wasn't actually sure what to do. Do I wake up and show that I can hear all of this? I sort of froze and let it play out. Later, though, I pulled May aside and told her what I heard. She got all quiet and weird. She said that it wasn't cool for me to eavesdrop. I said that I was in the car and that maybe they shouldn't talk about a person while they're right next to you. That didn't seem to make it better, and instantly I apologized and she just stormed off. She apparently texted the rest of the group about this, and now the group is split. Liam doesn't think that it's that big of a deal, and it's actually a bit funny. Archie and May aren't talking to me, and I keep hearing them say stuff like, after what OP did, was I really wrong for staying silent? Should I have jumped in as soon as they started talking about me? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk, but you may want to find some new friends because these people are not being very good friends at all. You were put in a very awkward position where they were talking about you right in front of you, and like, what do you even do in that situation?
I mean, they can't expect OP to not hear them, right? I mean, like, you don't talk about somebody right in front of them if it's not something that you want them to hear. Plain and simple. And, like, that's on them at this point in time. I understand that maybe they wanted to talk about this kind of stuff, but you can't talk about somebody and not expect them to hear it. It's just absurd. And I agree with Amber here. They put OP into a bad position, an awkward position, because if OP had just waken up and said, hey, I can actually hear you folks, then, it just adds additional, like, awkwardness to the whole situation.
It does, right? And it's not going to be any less awkward.
Yeah.
They're still going to be really weird about it.
Oh, why are you faking being asleep? Blah, 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 blah. It's still going to be the exact same thing here, right? So I don't think that OP's in the wrong. I think that Archie is just embarrassed is really what it boils down to, right? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Leaving My Ex Possibly Homeless? I'm a 21-year-old female, and recent ex, a 23-year-old male, was my boyfriend for 4 years, and we have moved in together last year. Since we moved in together, we've had issues. Before we moved in, it was already hard to get this apartment. He didn't want just any house or apartment. He had a list of things that he did and didn't want. These demands ended up falling on me to find something that fit the demands within our budget. After a few months, I found a newly built complex close to both of our jobs in a good part of town with everything that we could need in the area. I don't have a car, so all this is important. He also wanted classy new furniture, so no Goodwill or secondhand of any kind. This place was just barely in our budget, so he brought up a coworker/friend of his to split the rent with. This friend was known to me, so I said okay. So off the bat, before moving in, he also had a lot of demands and requests with moving in with us. But after a lot of convincing from my ex, he agreed. He nearly abandoned us during the search multiple times, but didn't. Since he moved in, I did nothing but be kind and accommodating to him while he lives with us. Fast forward 6 months, and I've had to work extra to keep up with the bills and car maintenance. He accused me of cheating, and I didn't take it lightly because he knows that I've been cheated on in the past. I told him that we would do therapy to work on it, amongst other things. He begrudgingly participated, but made it clear that he didn't like it, and he felt as though we were only talking about what he's doing wrong. During one session, I told him that I knew that he was sleeping with a coworker. I told him to break it off with her. A week later, I caught him kissing her on our couch when I went to the kitchen to get water. He wasn't ashamed or anything. He simply asked, "What are you doing up?" Later, we had multiple arguments about it, claiming that he fell in love with her and that she makes him feel loved in a way that I couldn't give him. During all of this, I lost my job for 2 months, partly because of him and his friend. As soon as I got a new one, he broke up with me. After that, he was more openly talking and flirting with and bringing this girl around. To add to this, I received constant hate and verbal abuse from him and his friend that lived there. He kicked me out onto the couch and constantly says that he cares about me, but cares about this new life more. Here's where I'm probably the jerk. He was told to renew the lease. He didn't. He and his friend have no legal claim to anything important in the unit. The friend told me to leave, so I am at the end of the month, when the lease ends. I don't think that the friend knows everything is in my name, but I can't be bothered to care right now. When I leave, I'll be taking everything with me. Pots, pans, the lease, everything will be shut off, and they don't know. All this happened in 1 year. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. I mean, this is just consequences meet actions type of situation. You know, they've been treating you like dirt. They've been treating you like dirt at every turn. They're saying, "Oh, you've got to get out of here," so you're just doing as they say.
Yeah, I don't think OP needs to put any additional effort into the situation. And when they're shocked Pikachu face at OP taking everything, hopefully they will start to realize that they've messed up bad. And then when they get kicked out, evicted from the place because they don't actually have a lease, they're going to be even more feeling bad about themselves, right? So, I mean, I think they're just going to, blame OP no matter what. But this is the consequences of their own actions at this point in time. I don't think that OP has any, culpability here. Their ex was supposed to renew the lease and he didn't. That's on him. That's not on OP. OP does not need to coddle her ex. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, "I'm a 30-year-old female and I accuse my boyfriend, a 46-year-old male, of acting like a creep. How do I fix this?" My boyfriend is a 46-year-old male and I'm a 30-year-old female, and we've been together for over 8 years. We've also been business partners for the last 3 years. Our relationship has been stable up until recently. He has never really made me feel insecure. We're currently planning to expand our business, and we decided to hire influencers for marketing. Around the same time, my boyfriend came across a model's Instagram profile and immediately liked the idea of working with her. For some context, she is absolutely gorgeous, and I agree that she would photograph very well for our brand. I have no issue hiring her for the photo shoot. My only concern is that she's a model, not a food influencer or a food blogger, and she isn't based in our city. Her followers aren't our target audience. So from a marketing perspective, she wouldn't bring us as much business beyond good-looking photos. A local food influencer would probably be much more beneficial because they would promote us directly to people who might actually become customers. Even so, I told him that I'm still open to hiring her. Here's where things started bothering me. My boyfriend keeps talking about her, he follows her on Instagram, and he never seems to miss her posts. Even after I told him that we could consider hiring her, he kept bringing her up over and over. In the last few days alone, he's mentioned her at least 5 different times without me bringing her up first. He even sent her Instagram profile to his cousin just to ask if they thought about how attractive she was. Yesterday, I was talking about an actress, and instead of responding, he changed the subject back to this model and started talking again about how beautiful she is. Eventually, I got irritated. I told him that I didn't like these conversations anymore because they were making me feel insecure. I repeated that I had no problem hiring her professionally, but I wanted him to stop constantly talking about how attractive she is, and he started raising his voice, so did I. During that argument, I told him that he was coming across as a creep. That really upset him. He became very defensive and was offended that I used that word. To be fair, he has never contacted this model. He is simply one of her Instagram followers. The reason I reacted so strongly is because of another incident that happened recently. A few weeks ago, he attended a wedding and met one of his cousin's friends. They added each other on Facebook and started chatting. She's divorced and single, and from what he's told me, she seems interested in him, even though she hasn't directly asked him out. The problem is that he never told her that he was in a committed relationship. He is very private and hasn't publicly told anyone about our relationship, so I understand why he didn't immediately announce it. The only people who know about our relationship are some of my friends and my family and some of our colleagues. He has not told any of his friends or family about me. But he knew that she seemed interested in him, and he kept telling me about their conversations. It felt unfair to keep talking to someone who clearly thought that he was available. In my opinion, he should have either told her that he was in a serious relationship or stopped chatting with her. Instead, I felt like he enjoyed the attention. Well then, after weeks of talking to her, he suddenly told me that he had stopped messaging her and deleted all of their conversations. I understood and ended the conversation, but I don't understand why he deleted the messages. That made me suspicious, even though I genuinely don't believe he cheated on me. I think this incident, combined with how much he's been talking about the Instagram model, pushed me over the edge. I would really appreciate some perspective here. English is not my first language, so I used a website to correct any mistakes. Alright folks, what do you think?
I mean, if he doesn't want to be called a creep, he shouldn't act like a creep. This is some very inappropriate behavior going on here in a committed relationship. And everyone has a different relationship. Some people are fine openly talking about other people they find attractive, but OP has expressed their discomfort and that she wants him to stop and not have every conversation be about this woman, and he kept doing that. And then the whole messaging thing on top of that and deleting his chats, it all just feels very slimy.
Yeah, there is something that doesn't pass the sniff test here, and I don't know if he's actually being faithful to OP, and it's very strange to me that nobody knows he's in a relationship with OP. This seems very much like he is trying to keep the door open so that he can find another relationship, or that he's just too afraid of ending things with OP because of the business and all their other personal business tied together, right? So if I were in OP's position, I would be a bit suspicious about what his motives actually were, right? He's talking with somebody who he thinks is interested in him without letting them know that he's unavailable, right? Which makes it a little bit more, I think, just kind of slimy, like what Amber said here, right? He's leading this person on, and for what reason, right?
Yeah.
So I think that certainly OP has a lot to be concerned about here, and if this relationship is worth fixing, then maybe couples therapy, because I think that might just very well be their best option here. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And the Bestings says, 8 years and he hasn't told anyone about you. What in the world? And ChatQuest17 says, some people really do deserve the situations they find themselves in. And Toonsmith29 says, yeah, sounds like he's already married to someone else. You know, I think that some people, this comment where they're like, oh, some people do deserve the situations they find themselves in. What does that mean even here?
I mean, it's a very rude thing. It's like just because someone is trusting does not mean they deserve to have their trust abused.
Yeah, exactly. OP is trying to be a good partner, is trying to be trusting of their partner, and he is betraying their trust. That's not on OP, that's on him. And Buckets Don't Lie says a 38-year-old man who started dating a 22-year-old girl is a creep. You're just now getting the view of what that process is like from the other side. I'm assuming that this model is in her early 20s. And Advice to Anyone says, shocked, shocked, I say. Okay, I'm not that shocked. OP doesn't realize that he's getting ready to trade out again the old DiCaprio. I think that age gap relationships can work, and sometimes they do work out for, a lot of reasons. But if you're in a relationship with somebody who is purposely seeking out young and vulnerable individuals, then that is a huge red flag in that particular case, right? All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Did you hear about the optometrist who loved jokes?
I see, I did.
The cornea, the better.
Oh. And I have licorice spice. And folks, today is a very special day. It's making your ex homeless day. Because they messed you over. No, I don't know. That's a terrible day. That is a terrible, terrible day. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fantastic Friday, folks. I hope your Friday is off to a fantastic start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on being a scorned lover.
You don't have to light yourself on fire to keep your bad ex-partner warm.
And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!